All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I am Lupagus, and it is the NFL offseason for a handful of teams for the lowly squads that could not make the playoffs. And with the offseason starting for those teams, one thing is for certain: we're going to start hearing rumors, and those rumors are already flying around the NFL. Yesterday on Twitter, there were some rumors going around that Deshaun Watson wants out of Houston. So the question is, should or would the Minnesota Vikings trade for the Houston Texans all-pro quarterback? Oh, let's get in that a little bit here. First of all, the thing we got to do is address the rumor. Does it even make sense? Watson's playing on a team who had a general manager / head coach that never works. He didn't really understand the value of the picks he was trading away. Got an aging running back with one of them, a receiver who's been around the league, just played for just about every team in Brandon Cooks. And he trades away the best weapon in DeAndre Hopkins, all to finish 4-12 on the season, end up with the third pick that you don't even get to use. Top to bottom, the Houston Texans seem like they're 2 or 3 years away from actually being competitive. So, yeah, the fact that Deshaun Watson wants out, I could believe that to be true. I mean, this guy's in his prime. He's playing for one of the worst teams, not just talent-wise, but the way they're run. I mean, it's pathetic. So if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'd also want out. So I think the rumor is easy to believe. If the Vikings were actually going to do this, a lot of it would have to depend on their plan moving forward. Are they looking for that quarterback of the draft, of their future in this draft? Are they wanting to take a signal caller with the 14th pick? Are they ready to move on from Kirk Cousins after his contract expires in 2022? Or are they going to look to do that beforehand? If the answer to those questions are yes, then I think you actually maybe explore trading for Deshaun Watson. He's only 25 years old. He's already proven to be one of the best young talents in the NFL. And he could make things happen behind this horseshit O-line of the Vikings with his ability to move in the pocket, scramble, create extra time. So, yeah, I think that would make sense if that's the Vikings' plan moving forward. So how would this happen? Well, if I'm the Vikings, I'm waiting until I'm on the clock in the draft, 14th pick. If there's a young quarterback, I would probably go that route just for the savings on the salary cap side of things. If they're picked clean, which they very well could be, and there's, your best bet's a guard or an O tackle / guard, something like that. Yeah, then maybe I call the Houston Texans and see what I can do. It's going to cost you that 14th pick. It's going to cost you a first rounder next year, probably a second and a third sprinkled in between, whether that's later in the 2021 draft or 22 or below or beyond. It's going to cost you a handful of picks. The Vikings would also have to move Kirk Cousins. With his contract, his age, yeah, it's going to be tough to get something for him. Supposedly, San Francisco has shown interest. There's some smoke there, whether it's true or not, I don't know. You got to move Cousins if you're going to do this. What would you get for Cousins? I don't know. I mean, maybe a third, something. Get something back on that end of it. And also, the Vikings would have to figure out how to absorb Watson's contract. If they do take him on, they're going to continue to be cash strapped for the next few years. I mean, his salary averages to be around $32 million the next 4 seasons. He does have an opt-out after the 2024 season, but you're basically going to be exchanging one expensive quarterback for another. The thing it gives you, though, is a 25-year-old quarterback, mobile. He's shown that he can will his team back into games. He can keep his team in games. He can come back. He's a good leader, exciting player. And you load him up with weapons. You get Deshaun Watson with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, at least for a year or two, Delvin Cook, and you got those 2 tight ends coming up. Yeah, your O-line needs work, but if you're only giving up a couple firsts and a third, I think you can still load enough talent around, patch some holes in your line, and make this thing work. So I really don't think this thing's as far-fetched as it sounds. I'm not going to say whether or not the Vikings should do it. I think it really comes down to if they're actually looking to move forward with a young quarterback the next year or two. And if they are, and they can't get one at 14, then I definitely think you give the Texans a call, and you only wish that Bill O'Brien was still in charge of making trades. But they got a real GM now, so it might be a little tougher. The compensation would be higher than it would be. But, there's a little teeth to this rumor. I'm just going to say that, a little teeth to the rumor. And then, definitely a possibility the Vikings should look at. So will it happen? Probably not. But one thing you guys should always do, and this comes from the bottom of my heart, is to always keep your skull in your hole.